He also served as a surgeon in the Continental Army. A lifelong friend of Washington's, Craik moved to Alexandria after the war and led the physicians who cared for Washington in his final illness in 1799. John Jackie Parke Custis, Martha Washington's son by her first marriage to Daniel Parke Custis, Jackie Custis inherited great wealth at a young age, though his indifference to education frustrated Washington. Custis was 18 when he married Eleanor Calvert of Maryland and served in Virginia's Assembly during the Revolutionary War. He died of camp fever in 1783 at age 26, shortly after the Battle of Yorktown, where he had joined Washington's staff. He left 4 children, 2 of whom were raised by George and Martha Washington. Robert Dinwiddie, Scottish merchant and British official who was colonial governor of Virginia from 1751 to 58. Dinwiddie sent Washington on his first public mission to French forts on the Pennsylvania frontier in 1753 to 54, and appointed Washington to lead the Virginia regiment during the French and Indian War. Relations between the two men soured before Dinwiddie returned to England. Bryan Fairfax, son of Colonel William Fairfax, Bryan was a neighbor of Washington's, who often joined him on fox hunts before the Revolutionary War. Bryan served with Washington as a justice of the Fairfax County Court. After the war, he became an Episcopal priest and was recognized as the 8th Lord Fairfax for a short time before his death in 1802. Ferdinando Fairfax, the youngest son of Bryan Fairfax. In 1790, Ferdinando published a proposal for liberating slaves and colonizing them in Africa. George William Fairfax, son of Colonel William Fairfax and Washington's close friend, George William inherited the Belvoir estate adjacent to Mount Vernon, served on the Governor's Council of Colonial Virginia, and joined Washington on the Fairfax County Court and the Truro Parish Vestry. When he moved to England in 1772, George William left his American affairs in Washington's hands. An opponent of the British policies that led to the Revolutionary War, George William never returned to America. Sarah Sally Carey Fairfax. Married to George William Fairfax in her late teens, Sally and her husband were intimate friends with their neighbors, George and Martha Washington. Based on 2 letters Washington sent to her in 1758, some speculate that he had romantic feelings for her. Thomas Lord Fairfax. The 6th Lord Fairfax, he was the proprietor of the huge royal land grant comprising the northern neck of Virginia, an area equivalent to the state of New Hampshire. Lord Fairfax lived in England until the late 1740s, holding royal sinecures and reputedly mixing with playwright Joseph Addison and other society wits. Nearly 50 when he arrived in Virginia, he settled in Winchester and devoted himself to managing his lands. Colonel William Fairfax, a British colonial official in the Caribbean and Massachusetts, Colonel Fairfax in 1732 was appointed land agent for the vast northern neck landholdings of his cousin, Lord Fairfax. In Virginia, Colonel Fairfax built his estate at Belvoir on the Potomac River next to Mount Vernon. He served in the colony's House of Burgesses and then on the Governor's Council. He was mentor for both Lawrence and George Washington. Jean-Antoine Joseph Fauché, French minister to the United States from 1794 to 1796, appointed to succeed and arrest Edmund Charles Genet, Citizen Genet. His reports of conversations with Secretary of State Edmund Randolph prompted Randolph's resignation in 1795. General Horatio Gates, British officer who served with Washington during the French and Indian War and later emigrated to Virginia, Gates became a major general in the Continental Army, winning the pivotal Battle of Saratoga in autumn 1777. The Conway Cabal, which included Gates, aimed to elevate him above Washington, but failed. Gates remained in the Army until the peace treaty of 1783. Edmond Charles Genet.